Let's now turn to the questions of ontology. And ontology is the philosophical study of being and being or existence. It comes from a Greek or two Greek words, ousia, meaning being. The idea is it's the Greek verb to be. Ousia is to be. So when you say something is, something exists, you're asserting that that it exists. So the philosophical study of existence is ontology. Ousia and ology, that is the study of being, the study of existence. Now, maybe it's a little bit hard to figure out what exactly falls in that category, but let's think of a couple of questions. The question is, what is real? Are ghosts real? Are physical objects real? Are gases real? What's the nature of reality, being, or existence? What kinds of things exist? Now, it's hard to see how you'd answer that, but here are a couple of things that philosophers, or views that philosophers have taken, and people also take this. One very common view taken, seems, by many scientists is that what's real, it's a view called materialism or physicalism. Sometimes that everything that exists is a physical object or is a material object. Chairs, tables, wood, it's all made out of stuff, out of physical or material stuff. But then there are questions that arise as a result of the fact is, fine, there's material stuff, but wait a second, we are thinking things. And some people, sometimes when they talk religiously, they talk about we have souls. Actually, in the ancient world, in the Greek world, it was really the concept of a soul. It was your personality, your soul. Is that a non-physical thing? How does it think if it's a physical thing? Why can you think and not the chair? Which also leads some, or has led some philosophers, and philosophers in our period, to adopt a view called idealism. And this view is that the only things that exist are these mental sorts of things, these thoughts or concepts. That is, it comes from the word idea, that the only things that really exist are ideas. So think about it. You're thinking about a triangle, I'm thinking about a triangle. You're thinking about the number 5, I'm thinking about the number 5. Okay, it's a mental thing. It's not, the triangle isn't something in the world that we're thinking about. It's not a physical object. It's sort of a concept, a thought that we're thinking about. But you notice something interesting. We're both thinking about the same thing. I'm thinking about a triangle, you're thinking about a triangle. I'm thinking about the number 5, you're thinking about the number 5. So we're both thinking about the same things. It's not in your mind or in my mind, but rather it leads people to think that there's somehow universals, that there are things that are out there. And then you'll see that when we start talking about concepts in value, like justice, like beauty, major questions that our philosophers have addressed, they think that, gee, these are things that are actually out there in the world, so to speak. What kind of existence do they have? Or even if you're talking about characteristics or properties of things, like being tall. You might say Legum is not tall. Okay, being tall, that looks like it's a universal kind of thing. What kinds of things are there? And it's led some philosophers, including some that we'll encounter, to think that the physical objects aren't the real things. The only thing that's real are these ideas or ideal objects. Now, there are two particular problems within metaphysics that I'd like to just briefly address, because I think they're problems that we all think about, and we'll turn to that next.